This week, we see the aftermath of victories and defeats, as the Union who have won at Gettysburg, Vicksburg, and Tullahoma make plans for how to follow up on this trifecta of success. And what are the Confederates? If they wish to go on fighting, they'll have to make changes too. The first and only thing this week is on the 8th, where full General Robert.E.Lee takes full responsibility for Gettysburg in a major way. He offers his resignation. Lee cannot be replaced. I mean, who could do it? Actually, who can take his place? General Samuel Cooper outranks him, but holds a higher position, so it's unlikely he would take over. What about General Joseph E. Johnston, who used to hold Lee's job? He is of similar rank, but he is not good friends with President Jefferson Davis, and has not had a successful track record, being backed by Grant just after Lee was beaten back by Meade. Okay, how about Pierre-Gustave Toutant Beauregard? He also has a poor relationship with Davis and has not a successful track record. He lost at Shiloh and Corinth and spent the rest of the war in Charleston winning, but away from the eyes of newspapers or the executive branch. There's Edmund Kirby Smith. Yeah, no. And what about Longstreet? He is an able commander, though admittedly he has not had the best past with independent command, with his North Carolina Tidewater expedition being a failure. Then again, Lee lost his first battle before taking over the Army of Northern Virginia. Honestly, I think he wouldn't be a bad replacement, but he isn't going to replace Lee. Camp Orange, August 8, 1863. His Excellency Jefferson Davis, President of the Confederate States. Mr. President, I know how prone we are to censure and how ready to blame others for the non-fulfillment of our expectations. This is unbecoming in a generous people, and I grieve to see its expression. The general remedy for the want of success in a military commander is his removal. This is natural and many instances proper. For no matter what may be the ability of the officer, if he loses the confidence of his troops, disaster must sooner or later ensure. I have been prompted by these reflections more than once since my return from Pennsylvania, propose to your Excellency the propriety of selecting another commander for this army. I have seen and heard of expressions discontent in the public journals as a result of the expedition. I do not know how far this feeling extends in the army. My brother officers have been too kind to report it, and so far the troops have been too generous to exhibit it. It is fair, however, to suppose that it does exist. Success is so necessary to us that nothing should be risked to secure it. I therefore in all sincerity request your Excellency to take measures to supply my place. Everything therefore points to the advantage to be derived from a new commander, and I the more anxiously urge the matter upon your Excellency, from my belief that a younger and abler man than myself can readily be attained. I have no complaints to make of anyone but myself. I have received nothing but kindness from those above me, with considerate attention from my comrades and companions in arms. To your Excellency I am specially indebted for uniform kindness and consideration. You have done everything in your power to aid me in the work committed to my charge, without omitting anything to promote the general welfare. I pray that your efforts may at length be crowned with success, and that you may long live to enjoy the thanks of grateful people. With sentiments of great esteem, I am very respectfully and truly yours, R.E.Lee, General. 3 days later, Davis responds.
General, yours of the 8th instant has been received. I am glad that you concur so entirely with me as to the wants of our country in this trying hour, and am happy to add that, after the first depression consequent upon our disasters in the West, indications have appeared that our people will exhibit that fortitude which we agree in believing is alone needed to secure ultimate success. But suppose, my dear friend, that I were to admit, with all their implications, the points which you present. Where am I to find that new commander who is to possess the greater ability which you believe to be required? I do not doubt the readiness with which you would give way to one who could accomplish all that you have wished, and you will do me the justice to believe that, if Providence should kindly offer such a person for our use, I would not hesitate to avail of his services. My sight is not sufficiently penetrating to discover such hidden merit, if it exists, and I have but used to you the language of sober earnestness, when I have impressed upon you the propriety of avoiding all unnecessary exposure to danger, because I felt your country could not bear to lose you. To ask me to substitute you by someone in my judgment more fit to command, or who could possess more of the confidence of the army, or of reflecting men in the country, is to demand an impossibility. It only remains for me to hope that you will take all possible care of yourself, that your health and strength may be entirely restored, and that the Lord will preserve you for the important duties devolved upon you in the struggle of our suffering country, for the independence with which we have engaged in war to maintain. As ever, very respectfully and truly, Jefferson Davis.
Again, who could replace Lee? Dan the Man Sickles is awaiting a command in New York, but none are coming in. He believes that he should be ready to ride to the field again, but his wound for any other man would take months to heal, and the army is treating him like any other man. Disgraceful. And the last couple weeks have been slow after the insanity of the first week of July. I'm probably ready for another big battle. The units of Sudden, having taken the offensive in the west and won, while in the east they repulsed their biggest threat. The question now is, what is Jefferson Davis hoping for? This is unprecedented in the history of the Confederate States of America. I mean, the closest thing is the fall of 1862, with Antietam, Second Corinth, and Perryville. Lee was able to bounce back because McClellan didn't pursue and was replaced. Meade has won too. Great a victory to be quickly replaced. And Lee's army is far worse off than it was after Antietam. Old Robert is a good general, but maybe what the CSA needs is a risky change. Hello, it's the entire Civil War week by week team here. Sorry for this short video. I remember the first time I had one of those do nothing weeks, I already just told everyone to go home. And someone said, you should have done more with it, and I've tried to do that ever since, but with the recent big battles, it's been pretty tiring, and I'm about to move into college. Is that enough excuses? I think that's enough excuses.